Good morning. A very warm welcome to the Unisa Directorate for Counselling and Career Development Support workshop. This morning we will be talking about getting organised and time management, and also how to negotiate support within the university as well as external. This will be the first workshop that we'll be hosting. In April and May, we will be having 3 workshops. So please check on my Unisa under the events calendar for further information about the other workshops. So this morning we've scheduled time from 10 o'clock until 11, and we hope that we'll be able to finish by 11, but it will depend on maybe the number of questions we get from students that we need to attend to. So please, as you are watching the presentations, there is a questions icon at the top of your screen in Teams that you can click on and post your questions. We will attend to some of those questions during the sessions, but then we will also ask our presenters at the end of the session to attend to some of the questions that you may have. Again, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. And let's start with the first presentation. We've got Tina Molekwa. She will be talking to us about getting organised and time management. Tina, welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Lisa, for the warm welcome. Students, as you have been welcomed already, we will start our talk today on how to get organised. As they've already introduced me, we are all from the Directorate for Career Counselling and Development. How do we get organised as students? You have all registered now, and I hope you have received your study material. But in the event that you haven't yet, for some that you have already received, it is important for all of us also who have received our study material that we get organised. And what do I mean by being organised? Is that have order around your studies, plan your time, negotiate the space where you want to study and the people that are around you, and prioritize your time. What are the things that you're supposed to do to get organised? As people that are working and as people that are belonging in families, it is important that you negotiate. What do I mean by negotiating? In your house or in your family, whoever you stay with, it's important that you negotiate the chores that you are responsible for. I'm not going to talk a lot about how you negotiate because my colleague that is coming, she's going to dwell much on it. However, I just wanted to just give it as a tip to say it is important that you get organised in terms of the chores that you have. At work, it is important that you be able to negotiate your time in terms of the leave that you are going to take for either practical work, either the exams that you are going to write. We normally put in a leave form. So in the event that you know you are going to have to go away for practicals or you have to attend study discussions, knowing that you've got responsibilities at work, either those responsibilities requires your signature and others cannot execute their activities if they don't have that signature, it is important that you communicate and even assign other people who will take over the responsibilities that were supposed to be done by you. It is important that we organize our study material. Now that you've got everything in order in terms of the study material, start now to put them in order. Check for books. Where can you get textbooks? Where can you get either internet site where you can access study material? Where can you access your notes? In that way, organize those material and put them in a place where by the time you want to start to write your notes, to write your assignments, you know where are your study material. It is important also that you have contacts of your lecturers. I do understand they are in your tutorial letters. Sometimes you are somewhere and you don't have your manual or your hard copies. Just have something that you can keep the contact numbers of your lecturers. In the event that you need some clarity, you are able to either send them an email or you are able to even contact them. It is important that you keep your tutorial letters aligned with your modules so that you can read each one of them given the type of textbooks that they would have communicated on in terms of doing referencing and knowing that everything is in place. Now that we are in COVID-19, majority of us are working from home. Majority of Unisa students are students that are working. But even then, if you are not working, some of you have got your children that are at home and are having their shifts in terms of study, which means that space that you thought you'd have during the day throughout, it is being occupied by many people. So what you do, it is important that you negotiate your space. Just find a place or a space where everything can be organized, which involves your schoolwork. For some of us, we are not fortunate. We've got a space where everybody is occupying just that small space. My suggestion is find a box, put those books in one box. If it's a bag, put them in one bag. If it's a bookshelf, put them in that bookshelf. Know and communicate to say, this is my space where everything in terms of study material, textbooks, notes will be located. It is important also, as people, we study at different times. And if, for instance, you find that the space where you study at, it's most of the time having some distractions, just choose a time that you find there will be no distractions like other people moving around. If it means you want to study when everybody has left, make sure that you've got a better table, a good chair to sit on, better lighting. The lighting shouldn't be too bright. If, for instance, you are studying in the same room where others are sleeping, make sure that it doesn't have too much light where it will distract others and then all of a sudden then there is a havoc in terms of you studying, but create a space that will be conducive for yourself and the others. It is important also to check, now we are getting into winter, so that you don't lose motivation. Just check the rooms that are conducive, or what are the things that you can prepare in time. If it's a blanket or a warmer jacket, put it in place so that by the time you want to sit down, nobody is distracted, you are not wasting your time, and everything is in order and at the good space. As you get organized, and either you are still new at Unisa or even an old student, maybe we have lost touch with our fellow students, I would encourage you right now, get organized, check for those fellow students. Just send somebody a WhatsApp message or send them an email, just saying, hello, how are you doing? I was just checking, how can we catch up? And then you organize a study group, which can be either a one-on-one or a WhatsApp study group, or you create an online discussion. So my encouragement to you is that students, let's not sit and wait, but let's get organized. How to be organized in terms of your time. It is important now that you start to plan, what is it that I want to do, and to know when is it that you want to do it. Plan that time according to days. These days, Monday to Wednesday, I would want to concentrate on module of philosophy. Thursdays and Friday, I want to concentrate on agriculture. And then maybe scatter it in terms of weeks to say maybe week 1, I'm only going to concentrate on modules around psychology. And then the other one, I will concentrate on counseling. Or the other one, I'll concentrate on economics. Or schedule your work according to your months to say, for this month, I would have wanted to see myself having written notes in terms of all the 4 chapters of each and every module. So get organized according to your days, weeks, and months. It is important that when you have done that overall plan, decide how you'd want to use your time in terms of your 24 hours time. Have priority and give important things priority. For example, check if you are working, how much time would you want to give to your work? How much time would you want to give to your chores? How much time would you prefer to sleep? How much time would you need to really put down and write your notes? How much time would you need to prepare meals? Meals can be, how much time do I prepare my breakfast? How much time do I prepare my lunch and even my supper? How much time would I need just to do thorough studies in terms of understanding the full content of the notes that I've written? The other one, how much time do I need to exercise? And also, how much time do I need to relax? I've just done an example there wherein you can work out to say in 24 hours, I would allocate, for example, 6 hours for my work, my chores 2 hours, maybe 6 to 8 hours I will sleep. So you can choose between 6 hours and 8 hours. And then either 30 minutes to an hour for exercise, or an hour to just relax, maybe with family or somebody over the phone, talk to somebody over the phone. You must know as you relax, you also are giving your body a time to recuperate from the work that you've been doing, either the studies, the chores, or even writing notes. So it's important that you also have time to relax. If work is too much, I would encourage you in terms of the work for preparing meals, maybe also give yourself time to either one day prepare a meal of over 3 days, so that within those other days you are able to take time to do your notes, to have time for work, and also have time to study. It is important to get organized mentally and physically. For you to execute your studies, you have to have a healthy mind and to have a healthy body. For a healthy mind, you need to eat nutritious food. Please, gone are those times where we just eat as we like. Now that we have chosen to become students, you have to have your brain working for you. There are certain foods that are good and those that are feeding your mind for it to be able to absorb whatever you'll be studying, for it to be alert when you'd want to do your studies, when you'd want to write your notes. Food such as fish. Fish can be canned fish, it can be grilled fish, it can be boiled fish, or even fried fish. Eat your veggies. Eat foods such as nuts, eggs, yogurt, and fruits. Do away with junk food. Food like bun chows, where you've got food that are loaded with dead food. You know, when we eat our chips a lot, chips are, or potato chips, those are dead food. And you know, when we eat dead food, then we become dead. And dead, of course, might not be in the literal sense of dying, but you become weak. You feel like you are just not having energy. You lose the motivation. So be careful of junk food. do away with junk food, and most of the time, or develop a habit of eating healthy food. For the body, as I've already alluded, we need a healthy brain in a healthy body. You need to exercise. Exercise can mean, now that we've been a lot in the house and we have not been moving around a lot, walk. Just take a walk around your street. Start with just one walk. But somebody says, no, I've been walking all around. I would say then, to add your momentum, then start to run. Run as much as you can, but not taking a lot of time being at the exercise or at the gym, but make sure that you allow your body to release all the unnecessary toxins and for you to be able to absorb and get more air into your brain and to get yourself energized to do all the hours that I've been talking about. It is important that you drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water, because water in it, as it is written, it's an H2O, meaning hydrogen, oxygen. You need that oxygen to be pumped into your body by drinking water. But the other thing, water helps to clean out anything that your body doesn't want, and it also gives your body, it's like it sweeps everything out that is unnecessary and gives your body that energy to absorb new things, and it keeps you alert as a student, and it makes you to have that energy to study. However, if you are going to want to have more time to be able to write notes and to concentrate, don't drink it too much by the time you are to study, because it will make you to have a lot of up and down. It is also important as a student that you allocate time to really sleep. Maybe in a week, just have those 1 day or 2 where you sleep those 8 hours, because it is important for our body to replenish itself, and it replenishes itself through sleep. What are the benefits of being organized? When you are organized, students, it saves you a lot of time. A time where you will find yourself feeling guilty, a time where you find yourself procrastinating, or a time where you find yourself looking for items that are not at their rightful place. The benefit of being organized is that it reduces anxiety and stress. When we are organized and everything is at the rightful place, we become calm and there is peace in our mind, and we are able to concentrate. And when we concentrate, our motivation to get more of our modules and our assignment done, and the motivation to even interact with other students and to share our experiences in terms of the modules that we are studying, the motivation to really interact with others grows. So get organized. But at the end of the day, when we are organized, it helps you to achieve all of your goals. Thank you.
Tina, thank you very much for sharing that insights with us. It really helped us to understand the importance of being organized and all the different strategies that we can use in order to study more effectively. So our next presentation, Elsabe, if you can just start sharing the presentation. Elsabe Mole is also a senior student counsellor from the Directorate Counselling and Career Development. This morning she will be sharing with you some more information about how to negotiate support from others, and also the different support services that may be available at Unisa for you to assist you in your journey as a student at Unisa. Thank you, Elsabe.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, thank you, Elsabe. You're welcome to start.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to the presentation on negotiate and utilize support. My name is Elsabe Mill, and I've got a number of things that I want to share with you that is important for you to get yourself started. The first important aspect is to develop a support system. Now, what is a support system? It's a pool of resources to draw on to support you while you are moving towards your goal or while you are busy developing your career path. It is important to communicate and to negotiate support. In other words, you must speak and say what your needs are so that other people can start supporting you. It is important to undertake to give back to your support system as soon as you can. One can't just be the recipients of support. You must also know that there will be support required from you and to give back to those that support you. In this presentation, I want to focus on two sources of support: family and friends that you live with. How do you get support from the people where you live with? And then how do you access the Unisa support services? Now, the first thing I want to mention, you must remember that you will be very excited to study further, but there will be different responses and reactions to this excitement. For you, you might feel a little bit guilty that you now start studying. It takes up a lot of time. You're neglecting your family and friends. You're neglecting your studies when you give in and you do socialize with them. So you're constantly feeling inadequate and under stress. The people that live with you, your partner, your parent, if you're a parent, your child or your friend, they might start feeling neglected because you're always busy with your books. They feel unappreciated. They could feel resentful because they need to do much more in the home because you are busy with your studies. Now, the most important way to solve this is to ensure that there is a good communication going on between you and the people you live with. It's important, first of all, to get your loved ones on board from the start, your loved ones or your friends that you stay with. It is important for you to consult them about the possibility of studying further. And you must do that even before you register, especially if somebody is going to pay for your studies. Then it's especially important to include them in your decision, because there might be less resistance if you consult them from the beginning. Part of the process is to do a thorough research on your choice of direction, your motivation, your vision, why you want to do it, how it inspires you, because this allows them to understand and feel part of the process. It's also important for them to understand what the demands of ODL or ODEL is and what will be required from you. This distance studying, what will this require from you? Then you can also think of exposing them right in the beginning before you register. You can include them by exposing them to Unisa. When you talk to them about studying at Unisa, go onto the website. Take them through a few photos that you can show them. Take them through the different website for application. Take them through the registration phase, show them all the qualifications on offer. You can, even if you're a parent, take your children with you to the library. You can buy memorabilia, and you can see in the online Unisa shop that there are t-shirts and rulers and pens and bags and whatever. And you can think of buying them. For instance, it's your father's birthday. Give him a Unisa t-shirt and make him feel part of the process. Or if you've got younger brothers and sisters, buy them some pens with a Unisa logo so that they can use that at school and really feel part of their brother or sister studying through Unisa. Then you can also attend university events such as family. As a family, you can attend these university events. I'm thinking of, for instance, career fairs, musical festivals. Watch out for that and use that to make your family feel part of Unisa. Another aspect that you can communicate is your successes and your failures. There's a number of things that you can talk about. Your priorities. I think what is important is for you to share how you will manage all your priorities, all the things that you've already committed yourself to within the limited time that you're now going to have available due to your studies. With regard to your limited time, explain to the people in your home that you will have less time with them, or that you will not participate in unimportant activities. Say, for instance, it was your thing to go and shop on Saturday mornings. Tell them that you would rather not accompany them for that, because you will rather focus on your studies so that you can get ahead. Look at challenges, successes and failures. Remember to discuss that, not just in the beginning of the year, but right through the whole semester or the year that you are studying. Talk about good assignment results, but talk about bad assignment results as well, and tell them what you are thinking or planning to do to improve your results. Have an open channel of communication with regard to your successes and failures. Your study needs. Discuss how much time you will need for each module and how you are going to try and create time for you to study. Look at upcoming challenges, for instance, and talk about this is important before it happens. I'm thinking of the exam period that's coming. Tell them well in advance that you are going to have an intensive period of studying. There'll be less time, more commitments. There'll be commitments after hours, such as attending tutorial classes. But then once the exam is finished, then you can plow back again and see to it that you can take on your responsibilities again. It's important to create a schedule, and so that you can mark on your schedule what is the commitments of the other parties also in the home. It is not just about you, it's about the whole system in that flat or that house where you live in. Would your mother be going away on a business trip? Or would your father be having a very important meeting? Schedule it to see how all of you can help each other. That shows that you care and that you have consideration for them. Also share your experiences. It's important to communicate about that. Discuss what you've studied today and what you found interesting. That makes them, and one can always do that around the dinner table. It makes everybody understand what you're busy with. Talk about current affairs. Say, for instance, there was a high-profile murder. Talk about how that would impact your field of psychology or criminology, or what you've learned and what your thoughts are about this high-profile murder case. Ask them to look out for items in newspapers and on TV which relates to your field of study, so that you can follow up on this and you can read more and expand your knowledge regarding your study field. You could also encourage educational trips as a family outing. For instance, if you were an archaeology student, take the whole family to a museum so that you can look at different aspects that you are busy studying. Or if you're a geology student, go and walk in the veld and try and identify some of the geological features that you are studying. Communicate, especially about the type of support that you need. It is important that you need to emphasize that you need others. Your study success does not only depend on you, and you need to communicate it. Part of this success, or part of your success, is the support that you get from others. Avoid, and I mentioned it earlier, avoid solely focusing on your own needs. Consider and attend to a family member if you can see that the family member is going through a tough time or is having a bad day. Acknowledge it and spend some time with them, even if you cannot resolve it immediately. Ask for support if you need study space. Tina mentioned a lot about the study space. I just want to add that you must look for study space that is private, quiet, without interruptions and distractions, and that space must be functional, comfortable, and connected. So ask for space in your home and ask for help to create something like that where you live. There's also infrastructure that you need. You need a desk, a lamp, a chair, computer equipment. You need internet access, stationery. Ask how the family can support you to get all of this infrastructure. Remember, it might be that you live in a home that is really every inch is occupied with people and with other things, and perhaps there's just not space in your home. Think creatively about other areas that you can ask for a study space. I'm thinking of a family member. They might have an outside room where you can use the space and perhaps offer to mow the lawn on a weekly basis as payment for the space that you use in the outside room to study. Ask a neighbor, perhaps they have an extra room, or in the church hall, in the library. If you cannot get it at home due to your limited space in your home, try to look for creative solutions. Then talk about hidden academic demands. If you've already have a commitment as a volunteer, for instance, at your church, discuss how you will accommodate that. Discuss that there would be hidden academic demands such as study groups. There might be online activities, tutorial classes. Tell them about it and then inform them about an hour before it happens so that people can just manage their activities to allow you, for instance, to be online or to be communicating with a study group. Then I think you must communicate about your responsibilities. In terms of your time management, discuss with them if there are too many clashes between your responsibilities and the time you have available. Schedule in your time management, and Tina spoke about this, time for family and friends, and fun times to celebrate success. And if you really have a very good schedule, a weekly schedule, you can see if something important is coming up, like a birthday of one of your family members that live with you. That gives you a chance to know a week in advance that you need to work as hard as possible to get your assignments in so that you can celebrate the birthday with them. Try also to get additional support. All the support can't just come from the people living with you. They also have their own lives. So look whether you can find other support, perhaps your church members. If you have to go out and see whether you can get one of them to come and assist you if you have small children at home, or get a close friend to look after a new baby while you do chores or quickly work on finalizing an assignment so that you can submit it. Important that you do your chores. Keep up with your share of responsibilities at home. Washing cars, packing lunches, ensure that your emotional bank account is not in the red. What that means is that whoever is your support system, that they can see, but you are really making an effort. Once you've submitted an assignment or written an exam, or even in between that you are trying to honor your responsibility. Say, for instance, your task is to take the rubbish out, that you don't wait for somebody to remind you, but that you schedule it so that you can do it, and they know we don't have to worry. Andrew will be doing this. Also, you can, once you've submitted an assignment or written exams, just go out and go mow the lawn for your father. He would see then that you are really trying to put back after all the support that they have given you. And it's important to also, during your dinner time, to thank them for their response, for their support of you while you were working on your responsibilities. It's important that you give back to those that support you. Then lastly, communicate, it's not lastly, I'm sorry, communicate your struggles and ask for help. There are going to be times that you find difficult or that you experience difficulties while you're studying. Ask for help, for instance, to go and see a counselor, or to pay for tutorial classes or private lessons, or buy additional resources to further explain concepts that you find difficult. Ask how your support system and how they can help you to get through this difficult struggle that you have. You can even communicate with them about issues that's distracting you. Say, for instance, at school holidays and the music and the TV is working, is being played loudly. Ask them, your support system, ask your father, for instance, to help you to negotiate a quiet period so that you can concentrate. When both parties are studying, or both partners are studying, it could be a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or it could be husband and wife living together. You must plan for challenges. Exam times would be something that could be stressful in the house. How are you going to manage that? How are you going to cook food beforehand so that you don't have a lot of cooking during the week? Or what do you do when a child gets sick? Remember that things might change, and that's unavoidable, and you need to be flexible. For instance, that one might find that traffic suddenly becomes very congested, and now one of the partners want to leave early for work. See whether the one can stay a bit later and take the child to the nursery school, and one partner can go to work early. The partner that went to work early will then pick the child up from your child up from the nursery school. So that would be just a way in which one can be flexible, because the other partner can then work a little bit later. Take care of your responsibility. Remember, it is you've got additional responsibilities due to studying, but your relationship is also a responsibility. Have date nights and put it into your schedule for the week. Socializing with friends, if you don't go out, see whether you can perhaps invite people over, and then do hobbies together. I'm thinking of mountain climbing or squash or whatever. It's a good way of taking care of your relationship. And be appreciative of the support that your partner gives, and voice it. Tell the person about it. Okay, that was the first section. Just a number of things that you can think of while you are busy at home. the support system that you can develop at home where you live. Unisa also has a number of support services. And this second part of my presentation will look at what's available, how to connect, and how to get support. We will go through this section quite quickly, but it's very important. And it is your responsibility as a student right from the start of the academic long semester that we have this year, that you ensure that you know about them, the Unisa support services, and that you make use of them. Okay, Unisa has over the years changed from a correspondence model to an open and distance e-learning institution. And online tools such as computers and the internet play a huge role in student study experiences. And our students connect to Unisa from a distance, and the internet is the fastest, most effective and efficient way to do that. So you must ensure that you have access to a computer and the internet that can help you to connect with Unisa. There's various benefits for studying online. It saves time. You can submit and get results of your assignments. You don't have to wait for the result to come through the post. And it's mostly reliable, the internet, and you can submit your assignments with confidence and quickly check that they have been received. And the work that you've typed up on a computer is easier to read, to correct, and to manage. You can also build an academic network because you can connect with people quicker and easier, and it's important to establish such an academic network. But I do believe one of the most critical benefits of online studying is that you develop skills for your digital future. By the time you enter the workplace, you already have mastered many of the skills, the online skills that is so critical in the workplace. It's important that you develop your own online learning environment. As an ODEL student, you won't be on a campus, you'll be studying in your own space, in your own time, and therefore you must reach out and connect with others. And it's important that you realize that you must do it. You must connect with a university via the internet. With Unisa's various physical support structures, you must now know how you can connect, where you can connect, and who you can connect with. Your success is not dependent on you alone. You need other people, so you need to know how to get it, where to get it, and who you can connect with. I want to start, before we discuss and dive into the different support structures, I want to say something that's very important. When you connect with Unisa, whether it is on email or whether you try to connect in any other way, if you write an email, you must make sure that you include the following for a speedy resolution of your inquiry. You must include your student number, your contact details, a telephone number, a full description of the challenge or the issue you are struggling with. You must include a print screen, if you can, of the error message that you received. And the new students that still don't have a student number, provide your full names and surname and your date of birth. We so often receive paragraphs where students explain their problems, but they don't give us this information. If we had a telephone number, we could quickly pick up the telephone and dial the student and quickly find out what the problem is and how we can assist. If we have your student number and the qualification you are registered for, we know immediately if we do not assist with the matter, which college we need to refer this to. So this is very important. When you contact Unisa, ensure that you provide this information on this slide. Now, your online support network focuses on 4 areas: online connections, connection with Unisa services, connecting to student affairs, and developing an academic support network. We will quickly go through this. The first one is My Unisa. Now, My Unisa is the most important online study tool. It's your lifeline and the primary link to the university. And this is how you communicate with Unisa and how Unisa communicates with you. It is important to know how to register on My Unisa. You go to my.unisa.ac.za. You click on that link and you claim your Unisa login. And once you've got that and you registered, you can download study material, tutorial letters, study guides. You can submit and track assignments, get results. You can join discussion forums, contact lecturers, read material. You can pay your fees or provide proof of that you've paid and register for additional modules. You can check and change your exam venues, and you can update information. You immediately on that portal, you can do all of this. So it's important to know how to register for My Unisa. We have other online connections as well. The My Life email account. All registered Unisa students get a free My Life email account. Important information, notices and updates are sent exclusively from Unisa to this email account. So check My Life email regularly. Often we get emails from students where they would say, I have written to the Unisa and they're not responding, and then you can see that there is they're using a private email, and you ask them, have you checked the My Life email account? And often when they look there, they get the response from Unisa. You can always decide to forward all emails from this account to your private account, but Unisa will send communication exclusively to this account. There's SMSs. Remember that Unisa also at times give you information, send you information via SMS, and go onto My Unisa to ensure that your mobile number is correct if it's not really already reflected. And when you lose your phone and you get a new number, remember to change it on the My Unisa. We've got Facebook and Twitter, multi-purpose community centers, only a few, so you can check that out. And then Unisa also has a Unisa radio that keeps you updated and informed about a range of Unisa's related topics. Then other Unisa services. We've got e-tutors, that's people that's exclusively employed or that's employed to support you exclusively via the internet. We've got e-tutors, we've got tutorial programs where you can create an opportunity for group study interaction to learn from one another. The Unisa library, indispensable resource. It's important to know how to use this resource, and if you're unsure or this is the first year that you're studying, book a free training session at the Unisa library so that you can become familiar on how to use it. We've got regional centers. We've got 26 regional centers across South Africa, and make sure which one is close to you. You can visit these physical service centers. You can get advice, you can meet students, you can use Unisa services, you can make an appointment with a Unisa counselor. You can also visit the academic literacy services that's available at these centers, which provide trained assistants to help you with your reading, your writing and your literacy skills. If you feel your writing or your reading is not so good, please make contact with one of these trained assistants. They also offer quantitative literacy programs to help with quantitative subjects such as mathematics and statistics. Then you can connect with Unisa Counselling Services. The Directorate for Counselling and Career Development, the DCCD, we provide a career, academic and personal counselling to prospective and registered students, and we offer it in person, telephone, email, internet and other media. And the services are provided by clinical and counselling psychologists, student counsellors, career development practitioners and student mentors. And all of the staff adhere to the ethical guidelines of the Health Professions Council in South Africa, the HPCSA. So if you've got any concerns about your studies, your career or your personal life, for instance, you feel worried about failing a module, you feel uncertain about your career choice, you have personal issues like relationship problems, or you are battling with academic issues around study methods, you are welcome to contact us. Now, some people, it's not possible for them to attend, or they would prefer not to do it face to face. We've developed self-help resources, which consists of podcasts, brochures and presentations. And you can access this on our website, and our website address is www.unisa.ac.za/counselling. And there you can get a lot of information that help you to manage your career, your academic and your personal challenges so that you can focus on your studies. Then you can also connect with student affairs that look after the well-being of our students. You can connect with the SRC, which is the Student Representative Council, who ensures that our students' voice is heard. You can connect with student development, who connects students socially and academically through social services, peer education, and other programs that they offer. And you can connect with the Advocacy and Resource Centre for Students with Disabilities, ARCSWID. They help students, including students with disability. They provide administrative support, advocacy, and training. Then it's important for you to develop an academic support network. And that network is focused on forging relationships with fellow students, with Unisa lecturers, with student counsellors and library staff. You can even develop a mentor relationship with somebody in your community who studied through Unisa previously, that's preferable, who you know and you can trust, and that person can give you advice and encouragement and guide you when things start getting tough. Or you can link yourself up with experts in your study field or industry professionals. So, but the important thing is that this will only happen if you manage it. So it's important that you take on the responsibility to connect with individuals and establish an academic support network. Please contact us via email, counselling@unisa.ac.za, should you need to discuss any of the aspects that we mentioned. Please remember to add your student number, your contact details, and a description of your challenge. You can also visit our website, and our address is www.unisa.ac.za/counselling. Thank you very much for the opportunity to take you through the support services, or the support that you can negotiate at home, but in particular to tell you very quickly about what Unisa offers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elsa. We really appreciate your feedback. And you have certainly shared quite a lot of information about the different support services available at Unisa, and also some strategies that all of us can actually use to negotiate support. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague, Mr. Arnold de Tooy. He is also one of our senior student counsellors at the Directorate for Counselling and Career Development. I will just ask him to share with us questions that we received on the system as we were talking or doing the presentations, and then we will attend to those questions. Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Okay, our first comment, how do I decide which module to study when?
Okay, sorry, I also just forgot to mention that I will ask another colleague who has joined us, sorry, Chipiwa Kurisang. She will then attend to some of the answers as well as my other colleagues. So Chipiwa, if you can perhaps share with us your insights about that question.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you to everybody. That's a very good question. And it starts with planning your studies when you start enrolling to that particular degree. So since you have raised that question that you seem uncertain when to decide to study specific modules, I'm going to invite you to contact me or contact us so that we can sit down and plan your whole degree, because it starts with the question, how long do you want to take to complete your degree? How many modules do you want to take, a year or a semester? And which module then you will take each year depending on your progress. So we would want to sit down and unpack that, or have a telephone conversation or an email conversation to plan your studies and plan your career and plan the duration of your degree at Unisa. Before I ask Arnold to go to another question, there was something that I want to emphasize from Elsa B's presentation regarding my live email account. Due to the POPI Act, you are actually required to use my Unisa email address as the only communication, because it reassures us that we are communicating to the right person who is a Unisa student. It protects also your information. Thank you.
Okay. Arnold, just a moment. May I just come in here?
Welcome.
I also just want to tell students that they need to, or not need to, but I would like to suggest that they familiarize themselves with our website, www.unisa.ac.za/counselling. If you go onto this resource, there's also a lot of information on how to manage your studies, and how to decide on, do your time management in terms of your study for the different modules that you have registered. It is important, as Chipiwa has said, that you can make an appointment, or you can write an email and then we can respond to you. But in the meantime, go to the website. There's a lot of information there as well.
Thank you, Elsa B. Then our following question, how do I manage all my tasks and assignments? I'm not sure how I will cope with writing all my exams at the end of the year.
Thank you, Arnold. I could understand and relate to the student feeling of being overwhelmed and anticipating that I might not cope. I think Elsa B and Tina shared some of the aspects that one could consider, but I'm also picking up something that you are raising, which is very important, the fear and the feeling of being overwhelmed. Maybe that's something we need to discuss, also to look at your own personal responsibilities, things that you need to attend to, and then maybe we can start exploring different things you could start to consider to manage your studies, to manage your other tasks. I will give you an example. I was having a conversation with a student last week who said, I don't have time. I don't really see myself coping with all this. And looking at this particular student's unique circumstances, we started having a conversation that maybe they need to consider waking up early in the morning to start studying because they are working during the day. And after 3 days, they said even though it was a struggle, but they feel less overwhelmed because at least they were finding time to attend to the studies. So with that question, I would also invite you that we can make more time and discuss your personal circumstances and explore ways of managing time. Also with regard to exams, I know some of the students when they registered, the timetable was not yet out. But we also need to have a conversation on how you can manage if you feel overwhelmed. Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you, Chifiwa. Okay, our
Yes.
next.
Can I add on the one who is feeling overwhelmed towards the future?
Thank you, Tina.
Yes, and say, if they reflect back to my presentation, is that when we do a planning, there should be what we call a master plan. A master plan talks of a plan that covers your all year, the events that are going to take place throughout the year. And then from that master plan, then you're going to go down into your monthly plan. And from your monthly plan, then you will go to your weekly plan and then your daily plan. So in that way, what the other thing that can assist you regarding that master plan in relation to daily activities, work activities, and study activities. For study activities to fit into the master plan, use the preliminary timetable in terms of the exams, and then also use the assignment due date to assist you to plan, because as you have those plans on your master plan, you are able to see yourself and say, then which one should I start with? When can I then tally my notes? Which modules are due when, and all that. So in that way, as you have your master plan, you have your monthly plan, you have your weekly activities and your daily activities, it reduces the stress, including what Chifiwa has also alluded on. Thank you.
Okay. What do I do if my family doesn't support my studies?
Thank you, Arnold. That's also a reality that most of Unisa students experience. I always talk, and Tina and Elsabi were sharing with that, we were talking about support for your studies. But even though in most cases we expect our immediate family to support us, it's not always a given. Elsabi has shared a number of organization people who can also be your support system for your studies. So you must not be disappointed. You must not be discouraged. If your family does not see your values in your studies, if your families are not supporting you, even though it can be difficult, but you can still negotiate the support for your studies outside your family. Unisa is there for you. It has got a number of contexts that could still support you. You can negotiate support from friends. You can negotiate support from the church, as long as you have got that community of your studies. It does not necessarily need to be your family, and you must not be discouraged. It's not because they are jealous. It might just be based on where they are. They don't see the value of studying. They are focusing on something else, and it doesn't mean it's wrong. And it also doesn't mean it's wrong for you to focus on your studies. You just need to say, this is very important for me. I can't get support. Where else can I find support? And be creative to negotiate other areas of support. Along the way, they could see you are quite determined. They can then become quite supportive to you. Thank you, Arnold.
Thanks, Chifiwa. Okay. Person says, this is great. It was while Elsaby was talking, I think. and says, I'm struggling to sit down and focus on my studies. There are always distractions.
Can I answer that one?
Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, it does make sense. And honestly, there is a lot of distractions that is going around, more especially now that we are in COVID. And though the faces have been lifted and there is a bit of freedom, but the majority of people are still at home. So you would find people would want to interact or to dwell more on or to stay more on something which is a great distractor, and even to students, the WhatsApp. WhatsApp is one of the distractors that I found students to be mentioning in most of the workshops that we talk on or we have. So how do you handle that as one of the distractors? Make sure that if you dedicate your time to want to study, send a message to the people that you find would want to give or to send you messages for you to reply, or just send them a message of notification that you will be unavailable from this time to that time. And in the event that you find yourself being tempted to want to check your WhatsApp messages, I would encourage you, just close your phone, put it away from you for a particular time, and then allocate a time where you will check your WhatsApp messages, and then later on just leave it. Because if not so, you would not manage in your work.
Thank you, Tina.
In the event where you've got distractors around the study space, maybe I would encourage you, go back to the presentation of LCB for where you should negotiate space. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. And do kindly keep in mind that you can get access to the resources related to your questions by going to www.unisa.ac.za/counseling. Let's take our last questions. And how can we get into contact or connect or see a counselor?
Arnold, as I mentioned, you can contact us by phoning and making an appointment at a center that is close to you at a Unisa campus. You can phone a counselor, and if you go to our website, you will get all the contact details for the DCCD centers. You can phone the one closest to you or anyone else that you want to speak to. You can write an email at counseling@unisa.ac.za. Yeah, I think that is the 4 ways that we communicate with students. And please just remember to add your student number, your contact details, and a full description if you do it via email.
Thank you, everyone. Lisa, I think we have got close to finishing. Is there any other pressing matter?
Thank you, Arnold. I just want to thank you and the colleagues for assisting us with the answers to the questions. I just want to add, in terms of contacting us, on the screen you can see our website address, and under the Contact Us section of our website there's also information for you to be able to make a booking for an online counselling session. So again, I would really want to appreciate all of you who were able to join us this morning, and we hope that we will see you at the next online session, which will take place on the 12th of May. On that day, we will focus on study methods. What are some of the study methods you can use to study effectively, as well as making effective notes. Thank you very much, and we will see you at the next session.